shoot, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, what said that you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, we got a whole bunch of news today. If it wasn't enough that we got the Nintendo Switch 2 actual release a day before what Nate the Hate came up with, we got Shuhei Yoshida-san talking to Kinda Funny in an interview. Shout out to Kinda Funny for getting the interview. A legend in the game, a legend that will continue to make more, I'm pretty sure, of a legacy after the fact.
To be free.
So then, what does that mean? Are you retiring from games? Are you just hanging it all up and going fishing? What are you going to do?
In my mind, the last 5 years, even though I did things, I was kind of, the leading first party was a very tough job, right?
Yeah.
It was really fun and I enjoyed it, but it was so much pressure and responsibility. But the last 5 years, so easy for me.
Comparatively,
no one to manage, no budget, or nothing, right? No meeting I have to attend, or Jim Ryan just let me do whatever I thought I should be doing. So I didn't have to report anything. So easy that the in my mind, moving from Worldwide Studio to indie role, it may sound strange, but feels bigger change than me leaving the company.
Oh, wow.
And whatever I do going forward, because I want to continue to, in some way or other, help indie developers or indie publishers.
Yeah.
And there's so many friendly people that I respect in the industry. I hope they would want me to do something for them. I'll be offering, I'll be free, so let me know what I can do for you. So I'll be waiting for them to send me email that, hey, Shu, can you do this for us?
Okay.
Kind of thing. So, and if that's successful, probably what I'll be doing going forward wouldn't be so much different from the last 5 years in my mind.
Sure.
That may sound strange. And
No,
Because he's not done yet. He's not done yet. I pray and hope that the next people that have the ability to sit down and utilize his unique talents in this gaming industry, maximize his knowledge, his foresight, and his thoughtfulness when it comes to this industry as a whole. Shuhei is the real thing. There's no slander here. He's one of the greatest. And I truly appreciate the time that he was over at Sony, because I know with him there, we got great experiences. So here's to many, many more years in a place that I hopefully they appreciate you. Hopefully. I can't even begin to start to tell you how disappointed I am in the Switch 2's naming, and at the moment, the lack of innovation. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that's going to tell you, oh, God, I love all the innovation that I see when it comes to the Switch. And I know you're gonna say you're king. What you need to do is just go along with the flow. It is what it is. It's bigger. It's more successful. It's bro. This is the company that I look forward to. I mean, you know, Nintendo's been around forever for me, and one of my best devices. So I thought they was going to innovate in a way that would be a little bit more spectacular. You heard my prediction. I thought they would have like a projection in the box, like it'll shoot out you don't need the TV to shoot it out on the wall. Pause. That's not to be, and it's just like an American approach, I guess. Bigger, better. Hopefully, and I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, I'm absolutely wrong. Hopefully, there's something there, right, that can change my mind. But seeing this, on my end, I was just like, damn. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. Well, we get a chance to see it in April 2nd, 2025, and they're going to be hands-on throughout the world. Oh, but the wildest thing is some games won't be able to play on it. Some Switch games. I want to know what those games are going to be. But it's going to be an absolute blast because if you see this game right here, this is a Switch game. So, Switch 2. Let's see. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed. And I this is the first time Nintendo has been hit by leaks and hasn't been able to recover. So I thought it was a little bit underwhelming. Could be, maybe not. Maybe it's just me. But I honestly can't wait to get my hands on this device. Now I got to sell my regular Switch so I can pick up a Switch 2. I'll sell it after I get it, and then, then go into what Switch 2 can do. I wonder what does it have pro-like features? We're going to figure it out. There's going to be something that's going to make it stand out. It can't just be what I saw. So, hopefully. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What did you think about it? Did it live up to expectations or not? If you ask the PlayStation fan, what's the biggest game that they want brought back? Undoubtedly, they would say Bloodborne. They want a Bloodborne 2. They want a remake. They would take anything, Bloodborne. And a lot of times, that's dangled in front of them like some strange fruit. But we got a chance to listen to Shuhei. And respectfully so, he's like one of the best guys that was over at Sony. But respectfully so, I listened to the interview, and I'm just going to let him say it in his words.
Will we ever see Bloodborne again?
Oh, yeah. You'd want, right?
We'd want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Bloodborne is one of the most popular asks on my Twitter X channel. People like, other popular things, luckily is one of my games, if they stay with a sequel or Legend of Dragoon, with remake or something. But Bloodborne has always been the most asked thing. And the people wonder why we haven't really done anything, like even like update, or
a
remake,
remaster. Yeah.
Or remaster. Should be easy, right?
Yeah,
Common
super easy. Hit the button.
Known for doing so many remasters, right?
Yeah.
Some people get frustrated.
Screw 'em.
Well, I have only my personal theory to that situation. I left first party, so I don't know what's going on.
No one's
but my
saying-
theory, my theory is, because I remember, Miyazaki-san really loved Bloodborne, what he created. And so I think he is interested, but he's so successful and he's so busy. So he cannot do himself, but he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So that's my theory.
Okay.
And the PlayStation team respect his wish. So that's my guess, right? Theory. I'm not revealing any secret information.
No.
To be clear.
Hopefully, Jordan Midler will still make an article about it, but I understand you're not revealing anything.
Ever since Bloodborne was released in 2015, fans have wondered if Sony would update the game and develop it for a remaster or remake for the PlayStation 5. The game's current state on console isn't the most polished, running at an inconsistent 30 frames per second with mediocre image quality. Over the years, fans have frequently requested for Sony and From Software to update the game, only to be met with absolute, complete, and utter silence. In the first interview since leaving Sony, Shuhei Yoshida touched on many topics relating to the PlayStation's history. Kind of Funny Games had the interview. When asked about Bloodborne status and why Sony has never commented on updating the game for the PlayStation 5, Yoshida said he believed the reason is linked to From Software's president, Hideki Miyazaki, his schedule. Now, that's just a theory that Yoshida thought. There wasn't nothing grounded in facts, just his assessment of the issue. And being that he was close enough to the issue, he can answer it way more accurately than anybody else that has been speculating on this game. So it was enlightening and nice to know his take on the exact situation and what's been transpiring with Bloodborne. Helldivers gets its first new update of 2025 for the PlayStation 5 and the PC. Arrowhead Studios released a new update for Helldivers 2 across the PC and the PlayStation platforms. Give PC that's just due, because PC is the one that has been carrying this baton, torch, and anything that has to do with Helldivers. If it wasn't for Date and Date, I don't know if it would have fared any better than Spider-Man 2. Now, don't take my word for it. Take Shuhei's word for it. Because Mr. Yoshida could not believe that Helldivers 2 outsold Spider-Man 2.
That they can forecast game sales, right?
Yeah.
Who would have predicted Helldivers 2 would sell more than Spider-Man 2, right?
Not me.
So that's the nature of the business. So of course we look at the commercial side of things, but in the end, you have to trust your guts. So
now, me personally, I know the exact reason. The PlayStation 5 did not have the backing of Steam to help it. The PlayStation consumer does not buy games. With the inflated install base of 65 million, or it could be let's just say 100 million now, it's not going to change the fact that none of the games outsells the contemporaries that launch day and day on Steam. It's a glaring omission of the facts when reporting everything that's going on. Now, you can put lipstick on a pig all you want. It ain't going to change it from being a pig. And if you tell that lie over and over again, It ain't gonna make it true. Spider-Man could not outsell Helldivers 2. Spider-Man 2. One of the most recognizable characters in all of Marvel. One of the most recognizable characters in the whole world could not outsell a generic Destiny clone. Sad to say, the truth in the writing is on the wall. Day and date to PC is a must, and it needs to happen in order to ensure survival when it comes to these games. Because with 100 million consoles sold, if you listen to the fan base, it doesn't matter if you got 65 or 100 or 70, 80, 90, 1,000. It doesn't matter. You don't buy games. And if it's not on Steam at the same time, well, it's going to flop. Speaking of flops, hey, Horizon Forbidden West, got to have a conversation with you right now. Yoshida-san gives his insight in why he doesn't understand Horizon Forbidden West not being able to match or exceed the first Horizon sales. He was hoping that the sequel will be able to do more. He said, they had millions of fans. The original sold, how many units? The original sold 24.3 million units, while the second one only sold 8.4. Saddening, disheartening, and yet Helmholtz continues to push a franchise on a fan base that doesn't want any part of it. Now, 8 million is nothing to sneeze at. Astrobot will die for those numbers. But it's surprising to see what this PlayStation veteran is bewildered at the fact that this thing could not sell. It's a shame. Because honestly, the game ain't bad looking. I guess just the backlash around the game itself. Boring IP with fetch-it quests, Ubisoft light type games. I guess people said leave it up to Ubisoft to make the game instead of PlayStation making a Ubisoft type clone. And arguably one of the best devices ever made handhelds, the PlayStation Vita. Shuhei reveals how he felt about the reasoning behind the flop behind the Vita. Because you're going to say the PSP sold 80 million. The Vita sold anywhere between 10 to 15 million. And, that's a significant gap. There was, from Yoshida's estimation, his thoughts on it was the fact that a lot of the expensive costs that went into the device itself, well, you could say the touch feel in the back of the Vita, that itself was cost prohibitive. You got to say the SD cards cost a fortune at that period of time. And the OLED screen, that was pretty much the reasoning for the high price tag on such a wonderful device. The device was actually a wonderful device. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're into handhelds, if you like to collect handhelds that fit that size, it's this nice smaller size handheld that fits inside your pocket and it's on the go. And I'm pretty sturdy. Very good. I have like at least 3 of them things. I had the, I think it was 3G one, with the one that you needed AT&T with, and the other 2 was just, regular ones that I have. But Vita was a serious contender to the Nintendo handheld market, and it failed miserably in the sense that the price tag was over robust. But Yoshida gave us a key insight in one of the defining factors in the flop: splitting development. You know, the PlayStation 4 had to take precedence with it. He said, you know, as far as developing games and stuff like that, and developing, they didn't have enough studios. And splitting the development, the resources, became, I guess, too much of a burden. And for its untimely demise, me personally, I felt like the Vita was integral. It was a piece of tech that was absolutely amazing, if you ask me. It sucks. You know, he said it was a mistake for the memory card. You know, people had to spend more money to get the memory card. The things that it could have been. But, you know, listen. When you go to make the best, and this is what I'm talking about here. That's the Sony that I knew. The best product. The most powerful product. There was no Nintendo handheld that was touching that handheld. I think to this day, though, you know, it gave the Switch a run for its money. Man, make me want to go upstairs and boot up my baby. But the thing about it is, on the Vita, you were able to put emulation on it. Once it was jailbroken, that piece of tech, insane. Absolutely insane. Legendary Shuhei Yoshida explained how the PlayStation 3 almost killed the brand. PlayStation 3 wasn't selling. It cost the company huge. But if it wasn't for the good old TVs, well, let's just say Xbox would have had a stroll in the park. I'll let Shohei tell you.
You know,
So the launch year and the second year after launch, the company made huge loss. Yeah, so I thought, you know, we would be over. We are over. But luckily, during these years, Sony's TV division had a huge hit with flat screen, big screen CRT, not CRT, but called Vega series.
Oh yeah, we remember
huge
Vega.
Success. Yeah. So the Sony parent company made lots of money to cover the loss from PS3. So we survived.
Was there ever a concern from you that PlayStation wouldn't survive that?
Oh yeah, when I learned about the loss we are making, I was like, oh, we are finished.
And so then,
Now, the fact of the matter is this. You know and I know. If they ain't had those TVs, if TVs ain't pop at that time, it's over. But what's going to stop them now? What's going to save them now? Well, you saying, well, King, they selling now. They're not selling software. They're selling hardware. Kudos to them. But when people are playing free-to-play all day long, and y'all see me playing Marvel Rivals and doing what I do, the question is, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, all these games, are they buying one game and they're not buying another? What happens? They're not buying your service. What happens? What happens when you don't have TV to bail you out? What happens? Did they become an app? See, I don't need to say hashtag no PlayStation 6. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation because without no TV to save you, there is no Sony. one to grow on. Are y'all keeping the same energy? Y'all hearing from a CEO's mouth, former CEO's mouth, because he was a CEO, bro. Telling you, if it wasn't for them damn TVs, thank God for the TVs, it was over. But y'all ran with a story about something in 2020 that if Xbox was almost out the door, but then they spent $100 billion. The PlayStation spent $100 billion to acquire more studios when they needed the resources for the Vita. No, they didn't, because they don't got it like that. See, all these companies get in trouble from time to time. Thank God, because I had a Bravia. Thank God TVs bailed them out. Because at that time, I had that $600, $700 machine. I had that PlayStation. Day one. I copped the Japanese version. Day one. Copped the American. Day one. So, thank God the TVs was there to keep this hype train going. Because if not, then what? So all that energy y'all had the other day for Microsoft going away to Dodo on somebody heard that Satya said that it could have been. No, you're hearing your Shuhei tell you right now to your face what it is and what it's like. You can choose to believe it or not. But me personally, I respect him. I respect everything that he does. I respect his work. I respect the man. The legend. He told you, if it wasn't for TV, we lights out. Somebody would have turned your TV off. Mustard. Well, I mean, in a day where, news is light, you think it's going to be light, or Friday would be the day for the Switch 2. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's called the Switch 2. It's not called the Super Nintendo Switch. Shohei showing light on the fact that if, he was in charge, the live stuff wouldn't have been a thing. And I respect that. I respect his candor. I respect that him telling it like it is. The reason why Bloodborne isn't there, his opinion of that. The reason why, the Vita flopped, his astonishment at Horizon itself not living up to expectations. The fact that Helldivers 2 outsold Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of things out there, and he has a wealth of knowledge, but also the man is a cornucopia of swag. If you didn't notice it, he's disarming with his smile, charming with his laughter, and knowledgeable in the space and knowing what is necessary. He can look at stuff, and I honestly believe him being pushed out over at Sony is going to ultimately come back to bite him in the ass. Of course, his heart will always bleed blue. The man is the reason why y'all know how to trade games. Simply put, a masterclass. And I know a lot of you dudes is going to sit here and say, yo, King is good, he's out. Yeah, the opposition is weakened, definitely, because he's the soul. He's the soul of Sony. It was strange watching it. To be honest with you, it was completely strange. Like, I'm at a loss for words, because that man, like David Jaffe, was around for some of my greatest moments when it came to PlayStation. It's wild that we've lived this long, or that I've lived this long, to have seen that console, the first PlayStation, come out to the level of success that it did have, to what it looked like when it dropped, and when we got it in the house and we got the controller, the premium packaging, to everything, and for the iterations in between, all the way up. You know, it was wild when he said no comment for the PlayStation VR 2, bro. I already told you it was always somebody's passion project. You know, PlayStation VR 2 was nothing more than a passion project for, you know, Sony PlayStation. Somebody over there, somebody greenlit it, and I have one, so it is what it is. I'm a fan of tech. I'm always going to be a fan of tech. And hey, man, today was a very interesting day. But tomorrow's Fight Night Fridays. Now, I'm getting ready to go stream right now on Frontline Gaming Streams. The link is in the description. And we're trying to work on a link to getting y'all a link to the Discord so y'all can come in. But y'all can see the Discord and how to get in there. And y'all can join Frontline Gaming Streams where we game. Tomorrow, we'll definitely be knuckling it down. And if you're a member, you dictate what we're playing. So, if you feel like playing your hand at a little fisticuff, some Tekken, put hands on you. Some Street Fighter, whatever it is. I got 2 terabyte SD cards on all these Xboxes in here. They loaded with games, and we're loaded to have fun. So, thank you so much for watching the video. I'm still in disbelief in the conversations that was had and how I feel about the Switch 2. Do I feel that the Switch 2 is, I just don't like the name, bro. I'm not even going to hold you. But like, follow, and subscribe, and share it out, and become a member. Members is the lifeblood of the show. Y'all keep the things going. But tomorrow, it's a live show. It's a live show that you can join in and is happening. So if you want to come through, you want to have some fun, you know, sub. It's a separate channel. So don't think you go over there and you sub. Separate channel. Sub over there. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's run it up on these bumps. And I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to take that logo and I'm going to throw it on. They got some interesting stuff happening over there with Marvel Rivals. So I'm going to take that logo and I'm going to throw it around Reed Richards. And I'm going to tell you, try to play the Game Pass. And baby, I'm back.